Is GTM Server Side by Stape a better plugin than GTM for WP or GTM Kit? This is something we are going to find out in this video review. Hello, my name is Krzysztof Poneta. I've been a WordPress developer for the last 12 years. I'm also an author of WP Full Picture plugin for website analytics and privacy compliance. In this video, I'm going to review GTM Server Side in three certain areas. First of all, I'm going to tell you about how easy or difficult it is to set it up. Next, we are going to talk about its features, and later on, I'm going to do some tests to see how it plays on a real website with special attention put to WooCommerce tracking. And so, without further ado, let's start. Unlike other GTM plugins that I already reviewed, Stape does not give you an option to only use it with GTM web containers. You need to use Stape's service to make use of a server-side GTM. Unfortunately, this also means that the difficulty level of setting it all up increases dramatically. If you do not have experience with setting up domains, with setting up CNAME records, etc., and then you will have a hard time setting Stape correctly or server-side GTM. However, for all other users using the provided tutorial materials, you shouldn't have big problems with setting up Stape. Now, when it comes to features, GTM Server Side by Stape doesn't give you a lot of them. If you watched my previous videos in this series, then you already know that tools like GTM for WP or GTM Kit or PixelYourSite, they provide you with a lot of options to push to the data layer some extra information about e-commerce, about user actions, about the parameters of or data about the pages that are being viewed. Unfortunately, you don't have as many options here in Stape, and so you do get some functions to push to the data layer information about e-commerce events or user information, which is a good thing, but you can't track things like form submissions. Yes, you need to use GTM's own functions to do it. Next, you can, which is actually quite unique, you can use webhooks to send data to Stape's servers directly. However, of course, this requires a help of a developer, or if you're one, then you should know how to do it. And you can use customer match option to send customer lists to Google Ads, for example. Everything is very well documented here in Stape's documentation, which I really like. Now let's take a look how all of this works in practice. Here is my test site with Google Tag Assistant running. We have all the information about the events and all the data that is being pushed to the data layer here. So let's have a look at what is being pushed. So, well, there is not much. The competition does it much better because here we don't have information about this page at all. We have only information of the page type, yes, which is home, and that's it. When we go to blog page, we don't even have that. Here we have no information on what type of page is it. When we go to the post, we have also no information about this page. Now, when we go to the store, we also miss information on these products here that are listed, which may be useful in some specific situations. For example, to build your audience lists in different marketing tools. Fortunately, adding products to cart works, and you basically have all the data you need there. One thing to be picky that I would prefer to have here is to have tax as a separate value apart from price, or even have a value like price without tax, something like that. It would be nice to have. Now let's go to a variable product. Here we have a view item already fired, and let's see if choosing a specific variant will actually fire an event. And it did not. So nothing happened here, even though we chose a specific variant. If we add it to cart, then fortunately the correct variant is being tracked. And finally, let's have a look at a grouped product with which both GTM for WP and PixelYourSite had problems with. So let's make the same test as before, add to cart, and here we have information on exactly two products that we added to cart with correct quantities. That's great. And finally let's check cart and checkout. Let's see if removing from this cart will be tracked. Okay, so it's tracked with the correct data. Let's go to cart and let's remove something here, and it's not tracked. And if we add one, it's also not tracked. So this is something that they need to correct. Let's go to checkout. We have begin checkout information here. Good. And let's place order. And we have purchase information with information on user details that we can later push to specific tracking tools. However, tools like Meta, they require this data to be encoded before sending. So this is something that they would probably not accept. So we would have to encode it on the server, which is a bit more tricky. So how does GTM server side by Stape compare to its competitors? Well, it needs to be noted that it does have fewer features, and the WooCommerce data is incomplete. However, at the same time, it is targeted at a little bit different, more advanced group of users and developers specifically, who are able to fill in the gaps. However, it is always better and just cheaper to use a tool that already has all the features that you need. Is Stape's WordPress plugin worth it? I'm not so sure. However, it is of course for you to decide. In my opinion, a GTM kit is still the winner here. Thank you.